Hey, it's David Elder, and today on Texas Eats, we're traveling around the Lone Star State looking for great restaurants you won't want to miss.
Get ready for some home-style comfort food favorites from an iconic veteran-owned East Side soul food restaurant.
We have all the hits. When
Yes.
you come down here, these are the ones you have to get, right?
Yes, these are it.
Plus, we take you to a popular deli serving up some serious sandwiches.
Cheers to you, Brad.
All right,
The
David,
full
thank you.
serious sandwich out here at Zatos. That's the bite. Here we go.
And we're cruising to Georgetown for a taste of Latin fusion.
This is also a crazy dish that you have on the menu, nachos, but this isn't your regular nachos.
All that and more right now on Texas Eats. Our first stop on today's foodie adventure is off Broadway, just north of 410.
Now we're here near the airport in San Antonio to go inside of a shop that's been serving up one of the most iconic sandwiches in the Alamo City since 1974. Let's go inside Zatos. Joining me now is Brad Zito. He's the owner out here at the restaurant. Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely, thank you for being here.
This restaurant has been in San Antonio for decades. It is an iconic spot to visit here when you're in the Alamo City. And the sandwich that's right in front of us is probably one of the most popular sandwiches in the city as well. But how did it all get started?
The sandwiches come from my father from Rhode Island, being the Italian that he was, the grinder, the Manhattan, the club sandwich. And then my mother came up with the signature serious sandwich. It's like the cousin to the muffaletta.
You said this sandwich, it put your kids through college,
Yes.
through graduate school, got you 2 weddings,
Couple
so this is the
weddings,
one.
yes, that's it.
Comes with pickles on the side, and I love that it comes with 2 pickles, because why not? You're getting this huge sandwich, might as well get 2 pickles with it. Cheers to you, Brad.
All right,
The
David,
full
thank you.
serious sandwich out here at Zatos, that's the bite. Here we go. If you're looking for a big sandwich, you've got to get the full serious sandwich out here at Zatos. This thing is loaded, very similar to the muffaletta sandwich, where it has the olives and the cheese and the different cold cuts inside of it. But this one actually comes on a pizza crust as well. Super crispy on the outside, it's cheesy, it's gooey, and it is a lot of food. Let's love. Woo! Nice bite to it. The acidity is really great. Toast on the outside, the cheese. I mean, this thing is just dripping with flavor. This is fantastic.
What I love about this, everything is blended together. People that don't like olives or don't like onions, they don't even know they're on there.
It's really classic.
We come twice a week sometimes. I come out for the half serious. I've been doing that for years.
Which sandwich is this one?
So this is the Italian. I try to, people that eat the serious all the time and they want to try something else, the Italian, this one is a small. I recommend the small just because of the flavor. It just the way the oven heats it really well.
You take the bottom one, I'm gonna take the top one.
All right.
This is the Italian sandwich, and here's the bite. That's the bite. That is incredible. I love the flavors on this one.
So this has your capicola, bruschetta, hard salami, provolone cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, basil, oregano, and Italian dressing.
This is everything you want. When you think of an Italian bite, that classic flavor, this is it.
Absolutely.
It has that kind of vinegar bite that you expect from an Italian sandwich, plus the cold cuts in there. Everything is sliced right here in-house, and the bread is made in-house as well. Plus, it comes with a pickle and their iconic beans. The beans on the plate is also a little special story, right?
Yes, absolutely. So my mother wanted a starch to go along with the sandwiches. She remembers the Depression. When we get to the ends of the hams and salamis, she wanted to use them. So she decided to chop them up and cook them with the beans.
Comes with every sandwich.
Yes, that is correct. Except the serious, it just doesn't fit on the plate.
I was gonna say, you don't need it without.
and we sell cups of beans, bowls of beans,
Right.
gallons of beans.
Now we're moving on to the sandwich here in the middle.
So this is going to be your Manhattan.
Okay.
This was one of my father's favorites. It's that coleslaw dressing that's kind of a New York thing. They dress their sandwiches, their burgers with that coleslaw dressing. Normally our corned beef, our Reubens, our Manhattans are on the dark bread, but this one today is white bread.
That's a Manhattan, and this thing is juicy.
So before you do the Manhattan, we have this hot sauce.
Right, it's on every
And
table.
This is the hot sauce. The Manhattan is what brought the hot sauce to Zatos. You got to put a little on your.
Here, I'm gonna load it up here now, just a little bit on the bite.
It's a Frank's Original Red Hot.
A
So
classic.
it's a secret that Zatos. We keep it in.
We're sharing secrets today. I like this. All right, we're gonna take a bite of this Manhattan with the Frank sauce on there. Here we go. Super creamy. I love the flavors that are in there. Everything's kind of like melds into one flavor profile. The Frank sauce on there, it adds that little zing to the bite because it cuts through that creaminess that's on there. The creamy coleslaw that's inside the Manhattan sandwich is delicious. You put some of that Frank's Red Hot sauce on there, adds that little vinegar bite, a little bit of spice on there as well. That with those house sliced cold cuts and that toasted bread make for a great bite. Right. Pickles on the side as well, because you got to have a pickle. You feel a little bit healthy. You got to go. And last but not least, what do you got going on over there?
The club, that's another kind of a later in life creation. It has ham, turkey, roast beef. It's not your traditional triple decker club, but it has 3 meats. It has 2 cheeses, mustard, mayonnaise if you like, lettuce and tomatoes. It'll put a dent in your appetite.
And it really, this is a larger sandwich than the ones that we just saw.
That is correct.
And even on the inside, you can see this thing is just loaded, wrapped up. And I love that you have all the meat on the outside. You're protecting the bread. All right, so you grab a sandwich half. I'm gonna grab a sandwich half. Yeah, and look at that. Just juicy, juicy bites. You guys aren't playing around. These aren't dry sandwiches, people. Look at this thing's busting out the side. I love what's going on. Cheers to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
These are incredible sandwiches.
Oh, my God. They are.
The club sandwich out here is absolutely loaded with all different kinds of cold cuts in there, and every layer is different, the way they're stacking it. And then they put the cheese in there, they're melting that individually as well. So when you get it, it's just this gooey, cheesy club bite with all the lettuce and the tomatoes in there as well to add that brightness to it, plus the house-made bread that's toasted to perfection. I love the flavors of all the sandwiches, you guys. If you've never been here before, this is definitely a spot you have to visit in the Alamo City. I think this place is just as much of a staple as visiting a Tex-Mex restaurant. You guys really have just set the precedence for what a good sandwich should be. There's so many different options, so many different varieties for everyone. And you also have great desserts that you offer in-house as well, right?
Yes, we do. We have fresh baked. The Ultimate Cheesecake Bakery makes us a wide variety of cupcakes.
It's a legacy of family, of culture, of food, sandwiches, and really, just everything that you brought here in San Antonio. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for your
time. I'm going to keep eating this sandwich.
Absolutely.
Maybe some of this series. You guys, Zatos is where it's at. Come out here and get a taste of San Antonio history.
Thank you.
Now, we're headed to the south side of San Antonio to a family-run barbecue joint serving up some loaded spuds and nachos.
Now we're here on the southeast side of San Antonio to go inside of a barbecue spot that's making a name for itself as one of the top places to go in the city. Let's go check out BBQ Republic. Joining me now is the owner out here, Oscar Torres. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for coming out.
And right in front of us, we have a lot of different items. And from the sweet to the savory, why barbecue? How did you get started?
Barbecue, I'm just passionate for barbecue. I've always loved barbecue. I go to every barbecue spot in San Antonio and surrounding areas, and I finally said, you know what, I'm gonna open my own spot.
And what a fantastic space you have out here as well.
Thank you.
I mean, it's very developed behind us. You have a fun car. It's kind of like...
This is Miss Pristine.
Miss Pristine.
Yes.
So it's got a name,
There's
too.
nothing wrong with her. She's intact.
I'm gonna start here with the potato. Talk to me about what's inside.
This is our Texas tater. It's fully loaded. It has butter, cheese, sour cream, pico de gallo, jalapenos, chopped brisket.
If you're feeling extra hungry, you gotta get the loaded baked potato. You get brisket in there, a little bit of sour cream, butter. The potatoes cooked perfectly, pico de gallo, jalapenos on top as well. And this thing is massive. Is this a favorite?
It is a big favorite here. We do tend to run out. Try to meet the demand.
Yeah, those spuds are hot out here,
Yeah,
y'all.
they are.
You gotta come get them while you can.
Our smoked turkey, it's so tender, it's so moist.
Yeah.
That's one of our best meat sellers, protein-wise.
that.
It's really good.
Yeah. You can tell right there, it still has a nice body to it.
Yes.
Very tender. Nice little bark on the outside as
Nice
well.
little smoke ring there too.
Oh, wow. Now the ribs as well. Nice bark on the outside. Nice and juicy. Take a bite. Oh, yeah. Good little flavor on the outside.
It is.
Slightly sweet.
Yes.
I love that bite. That's really nice. Right here. Now this is the king of Texas barbecue. You got the brisket in the middle. Looks like the fatty brisket, sausage, chicken on there.
That's our #1 seller, our brisket. 16 hours of cooking.
Wow.
Super moist, super
Oh, yeah.
flavorful.
Look at that. I mean, the brisket test. You hold it up to its own weight, you pull on it, falls apart. Nice bark on there. Fat's nice and rendered as well. Marbled cut. Here's the bite. Oh, baby, give me some look. When you come out here, you know you gotta try the Texas barbecue. The turkey's nice and tender, the bark on the outside, it gives a good seasoning to the meat, but the brisket is where it's at. The marbled cut has all that fat that's rendered perfectly in there. The bark on the outside is a good little crunch, slight smokiness to it, but overall, I mean, this is where it's at if you wanna try true, authentic Texas barbecue. That is so good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Look at that crispy skin on the outside. You can see how juicy it is on the inside, nice and tender. I'm gonna go for the bite. Oh, baby.
Nice.
That's real nice. One thing I would have to say about everything, it just has so much flavor to it. You guys are stacking flavors. All your proteins are just so rich. I love that. You can order just a little bit of everything and really enjoy yourself. Between these two barbecue platters, you got a pile of nachos right there, jalapenos, pico de gallo, you got cheese, sour cream, brisket on there. This is a party starter.
Yes, it is. And you can choose from your protein of your liking.
A lot of people say it's mine, nachos, but this is a shareable amount of nachos here. You get brisket, chicken, all different kinds of proteins on there, and this thing is loaded up. The chips that they're making, they won't tell me what kind they are, but I'll tell you what, they're super crispy, and they hold up to all the toppings that are on there. You get a little bit of the crisp, and you get all that barbecue goodness on there. That's the way to go. If you're finishing this to yourself, good on you. That's a lot of food.
It is.
You gotta save room for the sweets, and that's what we got right here. Different dessert items, but the one in the front, talk to me about that.
That is one of our newest desserts.
Yeah.
That is our banana pudding cheesecake, all homemade.
I mean, does it get more just crazy over the top than that? I don't know. Here's a bite.
There it is.
I'm out of here. We're taking it all home. Give me double. Give me double. I love that. Y'all could just open up a shop and serve that. I'm coming back every day of the week.
Let's do it.
That's incredible. Banana pudding cheesecake. It's a bite you didn't know you need. You guys, BBQ Republic, they're doing something special out here. Come check them out. Looks like it's dog friendly as well.
Definitely.
Bring the family, have a
Yes.
great time,
Yes.
watch some TV, get some sports going on out here. Just enjoy a weekday, a weekend. This is where it's at. All the proteins are rocking. Great company. You guys
Thank
are
you.
awesome. Thank you so much for having us out here. I am going to take this whole dessert tray to go
For
home.
sure. It's all yours. Enjoy.
Coming up later on Texas Eats, we head to the Hill Country for some great bites at a cozy historic spot. And next on the show, we get spicy at an authentic Szechuan style eatery. So don't go anywhere. Texas Eats will be right back.
Welcome back to Texas Eats. Now we're here on the west side of San Antonio to go inside of a restaurant that's serving up authentic Szechuan cuisine. Let's go inside Szechuan House. Joining me now is Christina Zhao. Thank you so much for having us out here at the restaurant. Now
to see
you're kind of like the local troublemaker, right?
I definitely am.
You're also responsible for a lot of the flavors that we have here in San Antonio and just leading the charge on bringing authentic Szechuan style Chinese food to the area.
So we have some of our most popular dishes here. Definitely Szechuan House staples, the garlicky cold noodles, the famous green beans, your spicy savory chicken, spicy cumin lamb. This is going to be our dry pot shrimp. And then of course, last but not least, the very succulent, delicious, melt in your mouth dongpo braised pork belly. Food is a very important part of Chinese culture, and I mean, it was the one time of the day that all of the family got together to eat, and that's how we present our food, family style, the way that we would eat at home.
Right here in front of us, you had mentioned this is the pork belly dish. How is it prepared?
So that dish is going to be marinated, deep fried, cubed, and then steamed, and then all of the renderings, the juices that come up from that steaming process is turned into a sweet glaze that goes over the top of that pork belly.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Pork belly. That's the bite. Oh, wow. The pork belly out here is savory and sweet, super tender, and all the fat is rendered beautifully in there as well. And the sauce that's on there is savory and sweet mixed together. So when you take the bite, it's like the ultimate combination that you want. Something refreshing, very popular as well. You had mentioned the green
Yep.
beans. How are these prepared?
These are going to be flash fried, and then they're going to be sauteed with ginger, garlic, and the yiping mustard greens. And so it gives it a very savory, earthy flavor.
Oh, God. See that? It's nice and savory. It's unctuous. The way it's cooked, it has that like kind of little bit of fatty flavor on there as well that you want. Right here. I mean, classic dish, right? Talk to me about what's going on.
Spicy cumin lamb. You're going to have some bell pepper, cilantro, all your ginger, garlic, chilies, cumin, of course, and a touch of sesame oil.
Oh, gosh.
Finish it off.
Oh, stuff a little onion. Oh, my gosh. Y'all aren't holding back on the flavor on that one. There's a lot of great seasoning on there.
And you start to see that there's so many ingredients that appear in Chinese cooking that you find in Latino cooking, in Italian cooking, and in French cooking.
The cumin lamb dish has elements of Hispanic culture plus Szechuan culture kind of mixed together. You have that cumin on the outside, a little bit of cilantro action, the onions that are in there as well, but the way it's prepared with some of that oil as well, I mean, that's just Szechuan flavor loaded into that lamb. Garlic noodles.
Yep.
I mean, super popular, and you mix them up so perfectly. And look at that.
So it's going to be ginger, garlic, a little bit of sugar, salt, Szechuan peppercorn, the dried red chilies, and then the chili oil, and garnished with some green onions and bean sprouts.
Oh, wow. The garlicky noodles are cold noodles, but they're loaded with flavor, and it's fun when you're trying different elements on the table, like hot, a little bit spicy. The garlicky noodles kind of help round everything out. Spicy, savory chicken, one of my favorite dishes, and there's so much going on to it. How do you prepare it out here?
Deep fried and then sauteed. Ginger, garlic, dried red chilies, Szechuan peppercorn, a little bit of green onions, and that's it. The peppercorn is going to cause that numbing sensation in your mouth.
I'm gonna throw in a little pepper in there. One of my favorite Szechuan dishes is the spicy savory chicken. It has all those crispy notes you want on the outside of the chicken, but then the little spicy peppers that are in there, if you eat enough of them, it actually numbs your mouth up, which is the first time I did it freaked me out. But once you get used to it, it is so fun. It's a different experience that you'll want to try. Everything is a home run.
Thank you. Well, they say in Szechuanese cuisine, 一菜一格,百菜百味, and it literally means no two dishes are the same. So if there are 100 different dishes, you'll have 100 different flavors going on.
And it's very true. I mean, even with just the small example of dishes that we have right here in front of us, everything has its own elements that make it extremely unique. Thank you so much for having us out here. Szechuan House, this is where it's at. If you want to get authentic Szechuan style cuisine here in San Antonio, even in this area of Texas, I highly recommend coming out here. The staff is fantastic. The space is fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to keep eating. That pork belly's calling my name.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely
Go for
delicious.
it.
I got to go back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up later on Texas Eats, we're cruising to Georgetown for a taste of Latin fusion.
This is also a crazy dish that you have on the menu, nachos, but this isn't your regular nachos. Welcome back to Texas Eats. Now we're here in Kerrville, Texas to go inside of a restaurant that's inside of a historical building that's serving up some delicious food. Let's go inside Rails. Joining me now is Melissa Southern. She's one of the owners out here at the restaurant. Thank you so much for having us out here.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you.
And right in front of us, we have some pasta, we have some steak, we have some shrimp. I mean, a little bit of everything, including the amazing desserts that you guys are known for out here, which we're gonna get into. But I gotta know first, What was this building before it was the restaurant?
So this is the original train depot, and we renovated it, but there's a lot of great history here, and that's one of the things that we really like about our old buildings. You know, we've got the original oak floors from 1890 in the old lumber yard, and it's just, you know, beautiful buildings, and on top of that, good food.
This property used to be a train depot and a lumber yard back in 1887. Through that time, it's transformed. A lot of it is still here, so when you come walking around, you can enjoy a lot of the history. There's 2 historical markers that are here as well that you can read up on it. But the coolest thing is that when you walk inside the building, there's actually little spots that they left untouched. So it's really like you're coming here, you're dining, but you're also getting a piece of Texas history. Just a lot of cool history, but the food is why people come out here. And I want to know what's going on with this first dish right in front of us. It's a pasta dish with a little bit of chicken.
It is, so that's one of our most popular pasta dishes. It's a creamy penne chicken. It's got fresh asparagus. We make our own sauce in-house, literally to order, roasted red bell peppers, grilled chicken breast, and this lovely Alfredo sauce.
That sauce is incredible.
I know.
The penne chicken pasta out here at Rails comes out with a house-made sauce that they're making to order, plus roasted red bell peppers, some asparagus, and the chicken on there. And let me tell you, the al dente pasta mixed up with the chicken and the sauce, absolutely delicious. Some of the Parmesan cheese on top as well gives you that little bit of saltiness that you want in the bite, and it's a really good dish. I want to talk about this shrimp salad. What's going on with that one?
So this is our southwestern version of maybe a Caesar. It's grilled shrimp. It has a little bit of spice on it, but you know, not to get too carried away. A great chipotle aioli as the dressing, some house-made croutons, and just what you would think of as a standard, you know, Caesar base with the romaine. And we also add some roasted pepitas. So, you know, those are little toasted pumpkin seeds.
Right.
And we season them in-house and roast them as well.
That's the bite right there. Wow. If you're looking for a seafood dish on the menu, I highly recommend the Shrimp Southwest Caesar Salad. Has some of the shrimp on top, a smoky aioli sauce on there as well, corn and black beans, kind of like a Southwest relish on there, tomatoes, croutons, a really great bite, and a large salad that's going to fill you up. Now, if shrimp is not something that you want to go for, don't worry. There's a lot of options, including on the salad option, you have a beef tenderloin salad as well. But if you're looking for something that's going to fill you up, get you going, Osobuco. And you guys are actually doing it a little bit different. Talk to me about what's going on.
So, you know, normally you think of osobuco, of course it literally just means a bone that you can, you know, stick in your mouth, right? But so normally people use veal, but we tried to change it up a little bit and we use pork. So it's a slow-cooked pork shank, and it's covered in a traditional French demi-glace and served over our red-skin mashed potatoes. It really is just perfect comfort food.
Wonderful. Nice and tender, cooked to perfection. That's delicious. The osobuco out here is made with pork shank, a demi-glace sauce on top, red skin mashed potatoes, spinach on the side as well. You can kind of mix it all together, the brightness from the spinach, some of that saltiness from the demi-glaze, and that fork tender meat off the bone. Super delicious, and it's gonna fill you up. If there wasn't people around me, I would grab it by the bone and just go. That's delicious. Now, when you're walking around the property, you're enjoying yourself, maybe it's after or even before you're gonna eat, you're going to see a little bakery off to the side as well. It's like called the sweeter side, right?
That's right, it's the sweeter side of Rails. Yes.
And you have those options actually at the restaurant as well. You have the cakes and you have the pies and stuff, all kinds of things. But this right here is a cake that caught our attention. What's going on with this one?
You know, this is a cake we've had for 17 years, and it usually sells out the minute we make it. You know, we can't make it through a lunch shift, you know, without selling out the whole cake. It's called our pina colada cake. Ooh. And so it's got toasted coconut, spiced rum, pineapple chunks, and then the frosting is a cream cheese frosting that's also infused with spiced rum.
I'm sorry, Melissa. I might be taking that one, all right? No, I'll share. You guys, this is such a cool place. The Rails out here is definitely a go-to spot in Kerrville. Come get the food, come get the desserts. Enjoy yourself, Melissa. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I am going to eat all this, though, okay?
All right.
Okay, I'll cut the chicken go.
Coming up later on Texas Eats, comfort food favorites from an iconic veteran-owned East Side soul food restaurant. So don't go anywhere. Texas Eats will be right back.
Celebrate National Hot Dog Month at Circle K.
There are a variety of hot dogs to choose from at Circle K, all made with Angus beef. Plus, all summer long, you can get 2 hot dogs for $3. Right there, you grab the buns in the steam basket right there. Add as many toppings as you want. Got onions, relish, mustard, ketchup. You can also grab a Polar Pop and a bag of chips. There's a variety of chips that they have at Circle K. You can make it a combo. All summer long, you can get 2 hot dogs for $3. Circle K, the official pit stop of Texas Eats. Plus, when you're at Circle K, if you want to cool down during the summer heat, you can grab a Polar Pop, a Froster, or an iced coffee, one a day for only $8.99 a month. It is a fantastic deal.
Welcome back to Texas Eats. Now we're here in Georgetown, Texas to go inside of a spot that's serving up all different kinds of Latin cuisine with a fun and unique presentation. Let's go inside Puerto Latino. Joining me now is executive chef and owner Jorge Alcocer. Thank you so much for joining us today and for bringing out all this delicious food. Everything looks so colorful. What got you into cooking? What got you started?
Well, I started to cook since I was 19, and basically since then, I have fallen in love, with the food, and basically it is my passion.
Now, talk to me about this first dish right here.
Yes, it is an entree, and basically what we have is, our pan-seared scallops, and then what we do, we deglaze it with lemon juice, a little bit of lime juice, and then we have a relish of corn, asparagus. Also, we're using a lot of the Latin ingredients, in this case, white beans, it's something, that obviously in the areas of Peru, they eat a lot of white beans. So right now we're using a paja scallop. And what a better idea, to finish it with a little bit of mojo sauce, that it also comes from Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, Peru, you have a little bit of Baja California on there. Grab your fork with me, we're going in. Here we go, cheers to you.
Cheers.
Here we go, the scallops. The scallops have a great texture on the outside, nice and tender on the inside. The white beans on the bottom, what a great flavor to round everything out. And the texture you get off the asparagus also adds a nice crunch to the dish. You knock it out of the park with that. That's a good dish. I love that a lot. That's awesome. Right here is a ceviche sampler. Talk to me about each one.
We're gonna start with the one over here, it's our tuna chifa. Chifa, it's basically coming from Peru.
This one in the middle, what ceviche do you have here?
Well, that represents Central America, and that has, crunchy jicama, green mango, and then, we put some passion fruit in there, for the aroma, and the fish that we're using is red snapper, that we cure for 45 minutes. So that's basically what it is.
And last but not least on
the
the
last
side here.
one, it's a very classic Acapulco style ceviche from Mexico.
This is the Peruvian style, a little bit of Asian influence as well. I love the way you describe this one. This looks great. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, wow. You have 3 different options if you get the sampler dish. I mean, everything has such a unique flavor profile from different regions of Latin America. But I gotta say, the Peruvian flavors mixed with a little bit of that Asian influence, top notch. The saltiness you're getting from a little bit of that soy sauce. But the toasted, the little bit of seeds that you have on top as well. It's just a really nice bite. But it does kind of have that little bit of an Asian flair to it. I love that bite. This is also a crazy dish that you have on the menu, nachos, but this isn't your regular nachos.
And what we did, we said, okay, let's put a nice dish of nachos, but instead, we're using all kinds of vegetables, mushrooms, corn, and again, the sauce is in a smoked Gouda cheese sauce. So please.
Wow. Now, I don't always use my fork and knife for nachos, but this looks pretty fancy, so I'll do it. I won't use my fingers on it.
Cheers, cheers.
These nachos are not your average nachos. All the flavor that's packed inside of this dish is just out of control. And the fact that there's no meat on this thing, it just blows my mind. Lots of great textures though from the black beans and the mushrooms. So you're getting those textures that you want from a good protein. You also have the different sauce combinations on there. So it has the saltiness, has a little bit of heat to it, and great crunch coming from the blue corn tortillas and the yellow corn tortillas. That is a really nice bite. You can't even tell that there's anything vegetarian about this or that it's modified to suit anything other than just everybody's palate. This is for everyone. Super delicious. I love the textures. One of the dessert items that you can get on the menu out here is churros, and they also have a dessert sampler that comes out with some cake. But this is one of them right here, and they stuff the inside to get this with dulce de leche. I'm gonna take a bite. Here you go. Great crunch on the outside. Plenty of sugar on the outside as well. The dulce de leche, though, it's a nice creaminess that you want. Adds a little bit of saltiness too. I mean, it's just a great bite. Nice and tender on the inside of this. When you want a classic churro, this is what you need to get. I mean, ceviche, scallops, pork, and you can even get nachos. And these nachos are vegetarian, so it's a really cool option as well. Cocktails behind the bar. Chef, cheers to you. Thank you so much for having us out here. Puerto Latino, this is where you want to come to here in Georgetown. I mean, I'm blown away, man. I'm going to finish all these nachos, though.
Well, please,
I'm sorry. You're going to have to make more for your kids.
No, well appreciated. No problem. He always has it. Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. Texas Eats will be right back after the break. Welcome back to Texas Eats. Now we're here in San Antonio to go inside of a restaurant hand-selected by Shiner that's featuring a great deal on tacos and ice-cold Shiner Bock beer. Let's go inside Rusty Taco.
Rusty Taco is a Texas-based taco joint that started in Dallas by taco enthusiast and entrepreneur Rusty Fenton in 2010.
Along with his wife, Denise Fenton, and their kids, they used to love to travel the state of Texas to try different taco stands. And the real aha moment for Rusty was when he went down to Acapulco on a fishing trip. And he came back and he tried the street tacos down in Acapulco and absolutely fell in love with them.
Days before opening the first location, Rusty got rushed to an emergency room for pains he thought were from kidney stones. Unfortunately, tests showed that Rusty had a large, cancerous tumor in his kidney. A couple of weeks later, the restaurant opened and we thought they got all of the cancer. We were very hopeful, said Rusty's wife Denise in a Dallas Morning News article written in 2014. Rusty created a legacy for his family, opening 8 locations across multiple states while battling cancer. Surrounded by friends and loved ones, Rusty passed away in 2013. Rusty Taco now has more than 35 locations across the United States and just opened one of its newest locations right here in San Antonio.
This is the Dynamite Shrimp Taco, and it is prepared with a flour tortilla, tempura battered fried shrimp. It also has coleslaw, jalapeno ranch, and sriracha sauce. This taco is our chicken team favorite. It is fried chicken, a little bit of queso drizzle, some bacon, and some pico de gallo. You can turn any taco into a bowl. The first one we have is the beef fajita bowl. Beef fajita meat, it can be served over cilantro rice or salad with your choice of vinaigrette or jalapeno ranch dressing. Our jalapeno sausage breakfast bowl. So eggs and jalapeno sausage.
Straightforward. A little bit of cheese on there.
A little bit of cheese as well.
The San Antonio Rusty Taco location is currently offering a great deal when you mention that you saw it right here on Texas Eats. Buy 2 tacos and get 1 free of equal or lesser value, plus $3 Shiners all day. Not just during happy hour, people. Both deals expire on August 9th, 2022.
Shiner's an integral part of our restaurant. It's a brand that everybody recognizes, and I don't think that this restaurant would be the same without Shiner beer.
Come on out to Rusty Taco. You can get $3 Shiners all day from July 9th to August 9th. Plus, buy 2 tacos, get 1 free. I mean, this is awesome. You got a great spread out here. You got the breakfast bowls, the fajita bowls, the tacos. You guys got it going on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here. Grab a beer. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Salud.
Salud.
Texas Eats will be right back.
Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Texas Eats. And to get more information and a map on all the restaurants that we've been to on the show, just go to our website, ksat.com/Texas Eats. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Texas Eats TV on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to join us every Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning right here on KSAT 12, because this is how Texas eats. Welcome back to Texas Eats. Now we're here on the southeast side of San Antonio to go inside of a restaurant that's serving up some of the best soul food in the city. Let's go inside Mr. and Mrs. G's. Joining me now is Vicki Adams. She is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. G's and the current director of the restaurant. Thank you so much for having us out here.
Thank you.
And right in front of us, we have all the hits. When you come down here, these are the ones you have to get, right?
Yes, these are it.
And we also have some Kool-Aid on the side to wash it all down. But I have to know, before we get started, I mean, 31 years in San Antonio.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yes.
And talk to me about the legacy that your father left to the city.
I think he just left, honestly, a whole bunch of deliciousness and just his love for cooking, his passion for serving others. That's what he's left behind.
Even though Mr. and Mrs. G have both passed away, Vicki continues their legacy every single day when she opens the restaurant. You served in the military, which thank you for your service, but your father served as well.
He did.
And his whole life was about service. And then he came here and opened up a restaurant.
So he spent 20 years in the Air Force. Even his 20 years that he was in the Air Force, I can remember we grew up on Brooks Air Force Base. I can remember that. I mean, he cooked then. I mean, all of the neighborhood kids ate at his house. He wanted to be here at Mr. and Mrs. G's. This is what he was all about. And this is what he knew, and he knew it very well. It's because of my dad. I mean, that's why I am who I am, and it's why I do what I do. He taught me to give back, and I serve the community as well. I love what he left me with, and I will carry it on for the remainder of my life.
I want to start with this one right here, because when you come out, the meatloaf is like one of the top dishes, best sellers. How is it prepared?
They just take the ground beef and the crackers, and then we add our special blend of seasoning, and we bake it to perfection. And we make our gravy from scratch, and we just smother it in our gravy, and that just adds the finishing touch to it.
Here we go, the meatloaf.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The gravy.
One of my favorite comfort foods of all time is meatloaf. And out here at Mr. and Mrs. G's, they're smothering it in their house-made gravy. They're making with the drippings from the pan. And you can get all different sides out there with it as well. But man, I tell you what, all you need is that meatloaf and that gravy together. It is the ultimate bite. But the smothered steak, you said that one just like flies and you can't even hold on to it that long.
We sell out of it every day that we serve it, we sell out of it.
And how is this one prepared?
So we just do a light breading on it and then deep fry it, and then we have our special gravy and smother it, let it sit in that nice gravy for a couple of hours, and we add our little special seasoning to that one for flavor as well.
Cheers.
Cheers.
The smothered steak. That's the one. The smothered steak is lightly breaded, deep fried, and just falls apart in your mouth when you take that bite. They got that same gravy that they're putting on everything else, which is just amazing. It rocks. And then you get that flavor from the smothered steak. You put that together, it's like the most insane comfort food bite. Now, when you think of traditional, just like comfort food, especially when you're in the South, what comes up? Fried chicken.
Yes.
That has to be a part.
It has
of what
to
you
be.
try.
It
and
has
that's what
to
you have right
be.
here. This is possibly like the most perfect plate ever.
Skin, that
Look at
crunchy
that.
skin.
The skin is nice and crunchy.
That's right. Yeah.
But I gotta try the skin first. Oh wow. Wow.
It's juicy.
Not juicy. The fried chicken out here at Mr. and Mrs. G's has the right amount of crunch on the outside, lightly breaded as well. A little bit of that cornstarch so you get that extra crunch. And then on the inside, just super moist, packed with flavor. This is so good. And there's so much flavor on that. This plate right here is pure perfection. Mac and cheese, collard greens, fried chicken, cornbread in the middle. That's where it's at.
And those black eyed peas.
That is delicious. Thank you so much for having us out here, you guys. Mr. and Mrs. G's, a part of San Antonio history, and just, a great spot to come visit if you're looking for authentic Southern cuisine. This is just comfort food. You're going to take a nap in the back somewhere.
For sure. For sure. Yes.
So thank you so much. Give us some love. Give us some elbow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.